All right, let's do it.
Can you just start by talking about your decision to come here and what you think you can do for this defense from a run stop standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, my whole career I've hung my hat on playing good run defense, honestly. Talking with Dan Quinn, he called me up. He saw me as a base end, like once he's had in his past. Like Red Bryant's a guy he had in Seattle who I was a big fan of, kind of growing up watching. A taller D lineman who's going to stay square and play the run well, do the dirty work, and let the linebackers flow and make plays.
That's probably as little glamorous of a position as there is maybe in the NFL. Do you take pride in just quietly going about your job?
I think so, man. You got to. It's not flashy, but I've been a part of great defenses doing that job, and it's an important job. It's one that's obviously, takes a selfless individual to do. That's something I pride myself on. I just want to win, honestly, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And I understand with my size and attributes that that's what I'm good at.
What's the key as a defensive lineman, as an interior defensive lineman, not to get reached on a play? What are some of the techniques to avoid that?
To avoid getting a reach block, I guess the biggest thing for me is kind of not worrying whether the offensive lineman's hat is outside of you, because you can always win with your inside hand leverage. I was always taught, don't worry about your gap integrity as much as just getting knocked back, because if you're playing it inside out, you get knocked back, the running back's going to cut back anyway. So I think the main thing is play it just strong inside out and get knocked back. That's the biggest way to be disruptive. And my favorite way to play run defense is you get knocked back first, and it kind of allows you to know where the running back's going to go from there.
Brent, what have you learned about Demarcus Lawrence in the defensive line room so far, and how do you see his leadership and his style when y'all are watching film?
He's a true leader, man. He's a great technician. Being someone who's more run defense oriented, he's already kind of noticed things about my game and helped me work on things, as far as pass rush goes. And he is a very bright mind as far as pass rushing goes, and the way he uses his hands and leverage and just the stuff he thinks about is a little more outside of the box than, your average pass rusher who's just get to the edge, bend, or like get to a club rip type of thing. He's very precise and detail oriented, and he's already been a great help for me, and I know the young guys have really learned a lot from him.
A lot of players have raved about Dan Quinn's energy and hands-on coaching approach. How do you guys feed off of that, and what have been your impressions of Quinn so far?
He's the man. As soon as he called me, he called me way back in March. He's a very high energy guy, I guess you could put it, and he's just one of the guys as well. He's a great players coach, and he's cool, man. He's young, cool. He played D line, so a lot of us D linemen gravitate towards that, and he's just a fun guy to be around. He keeps it interesting. We'll switch up meetings certain ways, or he'll let players lead stuff, and he keeps things fresh, which allows us to just have more fun with it than your daily grind that we often get used to.
Can you tell us about one of the times the players led a meeting, or one of the more memorable moments?
Yeah, we actually had a walkthrough where the coaches were on offense, and I guess some of us veterans were kind of the defense, and we'd call in the plays, and the rookies were I guess we were the staff for the rookies. So we were kind of running things and making sure the rookies were doing it right, and you had the coaches kind of selling out on their routes, trying to catch balls against guys. It was a lot of fun.
When you come into a new place, I don't know how many people you knew or didn't know when you got here, what's the importance of this offseason program, that you're able to kind of put names to faces and figure out who guys are?
It's huge, man. I know obviously last offseason was one thing, and we weren't sure what was going to happen type of thing, and I was just happy to get here as soon as I could. It's a lot of young guys on defense and the new coaching staff and everything, putting in a new defense. It's so important to just get these reps, be it walkthrough, meeting, just developing a brotherhood as well. That's probably one of the biggest things about being a great defensive team is, you got to want to play for each other, and you got to want to do the selfless work. You got to want to see your brother shine, and that's the biggest thing for me. So just getting around everybody, developing a relationship, and as well learning the new defense has been monumental for us.
When you're putting in a new defense, can you watch film of this bunch from last year, and then you talk to the new coaching staff, and you're new here, and you talk about some of the things that need to get better, or is it just like basically clean slate, start over because new staff, new players?
Yeah, I mean, Dan Quinn's always had a good defense. When they came in here, it's this is a clean slate, man. Whatever happened last year, that was last year. We got a lot of new players, brought in a lot of new guys, new faces. As far as last year's concerned, I haven't watched it. We're excited about what we're gonna do this year and the new kind of defense that Dan Quinn's bringing. Whatever happened last year is just last year. You got to put that behind you. And obviously, I wasn't here for that. A lot of new faces, and we're just excited to get this thing rolling.
How important is it to you to kind of find a home after bouncing around the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been great, man. I mean, I was with Chicago my last two, Ravens my first five. I was, I guess, cut for my only team with the Titans, and that was a tough time, obviously. But I was able to kind of regain my status, I guess, with the Bears there, and had the best year of my career actually last year. So it was great to be wanted. It was nice getting calls from multiple teams instead of me worrying where I was going to be, and I had an option to go to multiple spots, and I think that speaks to my conversations with Dan Quinn and knowing what this defense can be and how I fit in. I was just super excited and just so happy to be here, man.
Brent, we've had several players from Canada that have come to America's team, but none were as serious hockey players as you were. How close were you to pursuing that? And then are you now a Dallas Stars fan de facto by being in Dallas?
I can't say I'm a Dallas Stars fan. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan till I die. I guess as far as my hockey experience, I did play against Dallas Stars center Tyler Seguin. I've played against a lot of kind of the top guys in the NHL growing up and that type of thing. So it's great to have a hockey team around, and I look forward to going to many of the games.
Brent, when you come to a place like this, and you've been in the league for quite a few years, but you haven't been in Dallas, how do you balance that veteran but also picking up new things? I mean, do you view yourself as more a leader or also trying to gather from guys who have been in Dallas longer?
I think it's a first for me, honestly, coming in as one of the older defensive linemen, and I'm kind of pressing myself to be more of a leader than I have in the past, be more of a vocal guy as opposed to, a quiet teacher and just trying to help the young guys. I think, it's something I'm putting pressure on myself to do. I'm in a new situation and a kind of new opportunity that I've never had before. So I'm pressing myself to do that and kind of help these young guys get along and hopefully just continue to develop that this year.
You said you feel like last year was your best season of your career. What about last season do you think was the difference for you?
Everything just kind of came together. I was really comfortable after my first year with the Bears. Just saw myself fit in the defense really well. I was lucky to play a good amount. And I was just productive at the end of the day. I was able to kind of let loose instead of being like a really conservative square run stopper. I saw my opportunities and was able to be more productive as a result.
Thank
How do
you.
you know when?
Last one. Go ahead.
How do you know when to pick your spots in terms of being more aggressive versus being a little bit more traditional run stopping?
The biggest thing is just studying film, man, and understanding different looks, and just certain opportunities to take that shot that's not going to burn the defense. There's certain looks, plays, downs and distances, everything like that. You gotta really be on top of, and keys, all that kind of stuff to really know when you can, just really go for it and get back there and make plays.